Hello everyone, I'm Squallcasting. This is StarCraft 2. I decided to make a series of the games between FXO, ASD, and TSO Polt. I did one of their games a day or two ago, but I quite enjoyed it, and I want to see a little bit more of what Polt's been doing. Maybe that game was an anomaly, but I decided I wanted to do more. So behold, Game 2 of TSO Polt. This is FXO, ASD. Me trying a Korean accent, probably totally butchering it. I'm sure there's some Korean kid watching this right now just going, what is that guy doing? I don't even... Yeah, that's what's going on. Polt singing a single SCV out to start building his wall. So, yes, in the last game, we did see Polt do just a one base all-in, and then just kept all-inning until he won. And ASD wasn't quite able to manage things, lost too many sentries, burned too much sentry energy, and Polt was just able to kind of swing forward and kill him. So, that is indeed what happened. So, Polt dropping his barracks. ASD going to make his gateway any second now. We'll start scouting now. Opting to scout after the gateway rather than after the pylon. And, I feel that's reasonably safe. It's a pretty big map, so I don't think you have to worry quite as much about some sort of crazy all-in, just because when you start the all-in, you have to wait like half an hour for your units to actually get there. I'm just envisioning that, like, in the world of StarCraft, like, time to them is a lot slower than it is to us, so when a Marine is told to go attack an enemy base, it has to march for, like, an hour to get there. And then the battles are, like, real time, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that well or not. Anyways, so that probe does get in. It will see that there is no gas yet. Polt could very well be gearing up for a pretty typical 1-Rax gasless FE. Polt does drop into the supply depot just to pin that probe inside, and he will eventually kill that. So for the moment, ASD is just going to cruise around, maybe poke at a probe or two, do a little bit of mineral line harass. But that Marine does arrive, and so that probe is not long for this world. So ASD has gotten his first gas. Cybercore is on the way. He's choosing to make a Zealot rather than saving the minerals and then making a Stalker later. Could be worried about a bit of early aggression from Polt. And Polt scouting around with this SCV, not seeing too terribly much. And is moving out 2 Marines. So, yeah, 1-Rax gasless FE, pretty typical. Not surprising in the slightest. And Polt just moving Marines out here just to protect that ramp against any Stalkers that may choose to poke up. And it looks like ASD is going to do that pretty standard 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker poke, where the single Zealot's rallied across the map, and then the Stalker catches up with the Zealot when they're right about here. Because Stalkers run really, really fast. But the Stalker will stop. Looks like it's going to try to take out that SCV. He does deny scouting information, and he has not yet thrown down another gas. So, very interesting. Could be he wants to do just some 3-gate pressure, or maybe even a 4-gate. While 4-gates aren't really common anymore, they do still exist. Zealot pulls back, does take a little bit of hull damage, but not too much. It will be able to regenerate those shields. It's going to join up with its Stalker brethren now, and they may look at doing just a little bit of pressure. Bunker is on the way, but it's still going to be a bit before it finishes. But for the moment, ASD seems content to wait a little bit, let the Zealot shields recharge, but here we go. Stalker poking on up, chipping away at the Marines, but the Marines microing forward very nicely, dealing a lot of damage to that Stalker, and ASD is just not really doing anything. The Marine did take a little bit of damage, but now it's inside a bunker, so as far as that Marine is concerned, it now has 100 hit points added to its life. And you may wonder, 100 hit points? A bunker has 400 hit points. I'm pretending each Marine takes 100 hit points from the bunker and adds it to its health. Yeah, that's how I think. In any case, Polt has taken both gases inside of his main. Hasn't taken any at the natural yet. He is adding on a tech lab. We'll see if he opts to get some reactors in the near future, or if he's just going to continue building Marines. I guess he's saving up gas so he can get something like Stim or maybe combat shields. ASD's expansion, in the meantime, nearly finished. Definitely a ways behind Polt's, but that's pretty typical in the matchup these days. So what else is going on? So ASD is making 3 gateways in the back of his base, and 5-gate, 6-gate. This could be fun. And he does have a probe up here. He's holding both these watchtowers, so he will definitely have... He should have an idea if Polt decides to move out. And this probe scooting on around, dropping a single pylon there. And looks like it's going to drop another one here. And then he's going to warp in a lot of units and try to kill Polt. So this is very aggressive by ASD. I wouldn't call it quite all in. Although it's definitely risky. He's stopped probe production entirely. He is dedicating 100% of his resources to attack units. Never mind, right as I say that, another probe starts building. But these gateways are morphing in now. He's already chrono boosted them. So they are ready to go. He is starting to warp in a whole bunch of zealots there. Another pylon finishing up here, so that will provide another angle of attack. Looks like he's going to rally down here, push up the ramp this way, and then maybe move units in from here. That would seem relatively reasonable. This probe scooting forward, going to drop yet another pylon. And that is just out of Polt's sight. But that said, Polt is pretty well prepared for this. He has 3 bunkers up. ASD has quite a few sentries, though, so he will be able to do approximately 9,000 force fields to prevent SCVs from firing. Here we go. Guardian Shield goes down, preventing a lot of damage. Force fields go down, preventing the bunkers from being repaired. And those bunkers just look like they are being hugged by the loving embrace of those force fields as they are right on top. Here we go. Going again. Oh, wow. Pinning so many SCVs outside of the base. He's killing quite a few. He does lose a single sentry, but he hasn't lost that much yet. And it could be that's all ASD wanted to do. He wanted the SCVs to move out. He's killed 9 SCVs, so counting the one he killed at the start of the game, he's killed 8 now. But at this point, I'm not sure if that's quite enough to justify cutting probe. Okay, he's heading the probe count, but mules do equalize that quite well. That said, Polt is still in a pretty good position. He still has 3 bunkers up filled with units. And ASD is not quite sure what he wants to do about this. And Polt is starting to build medevacs now. As soon as those medevacs come out, Polt is going to push forward and be able to crush this army with ease. Stim is done. I do not believe there's any combat shield yet. No, there is not. And here we go. Polt unloads all the bunkers. He's tasting blood. He's feeling it in his veins. He's ready to go. For the moment, though, content to just scoot back a little bit, kill the pylon. And ASD looks like he still wants to push, but he's not sure. Oh, wow. Polt's starting to salvage bunkers. He's pretty confident he can deal with this. Looks like he kept 2 up for the moment, so it's not like he's salvaging all of them, which is I never like seeing. It's terrifying, man. Like, you salvage all the bunkers, you might die. Here we go. ASD's losing a stalker, then falling back. Like, screw it, man. Oh, here we go. Polt big stim forward. Medevacs are there to support now. They are dealing up so much damage. His flank comes in from the side from ASD's units. Is he dealing enough damage? He's lost so many stalkers already. Most of the sentries are still alive, but they don't deal that much damage. More stuff coming in from the side. Really good force field pinning all the units in. So those zealots can deal lots of damage. And wow, ASD killing quite a bit of stuff. He is ahead in supply, just barely. Now let's take a look at the economy front. Still staying decently in a decent place as far as that probe count goes. And ASD very nicely has managed to keep most of his sentries alive. And that's really going to pay dividends in him in the long term. Here we go, though. Polt's getting out into a nice wide open area. But here we go. ASD surging forward once again. More force fields going down. Zealots getting into the action, cutting apart tons of units. Zealots warping in literally right into the heat of battle. ASD is starting to lose sentries now, but he's dealt a lot of damage to Polt's forces. Not sure if it's going to be enough, though. And wow, look at those resources lost. He's definitely lost way more than Polt. So while it feels like ASD is doing pretty well, he's definitely not doing this in a very cost-efficient manner. He is starting to take out medevacs, though, and that's no good for Polt. You want to keep that medevac count as high as possible. And yeah, those numbers starting to equalize now. These forces are a bit out of position. ASD has some units in. I'm not sure why he moved those stalkers out of the way. That felt a little bit weird, but here we go. Zealots charging forward once again, but wow, ASD with a whole bunch of forces just sitting up there doing nothing. That's definitely a blunder. And he's lost his, oh, never mind. He still has a forward pylon. Backup pylons for the forward pylons. But ASD's army has been thinned out quite a bit, and I don't know if he has enough to deal a crippling blow to this army. That said, Polt's units are really, really, really red. They are so damaged because they have been doing so many drugs. And that's why we say, kids, don't do drugs. They will make you die faster when somebody starts hitting you with particle disruptors. Yes, Anyway, Asd is still trying. Some good force fields going down, but he doesn't have enough zealots to really make fully effective use of those force fields. And he is starting to lose all of his sentries. This is terrible, and he does GG out of the game. So yeah, Asd looked like he was doing pretty decent, but in every single exchange, Polt was just able to kill so much more than he lost. And Asd wasn't able to sustain it and had to bow out. So well played by Polt. I have no further commentary. So thank you guys for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please join me for Game 3.